Recently, I made this tart and I want to share this tart with you. This tart is so decadent and it's just more than a tart. It's almost like a cake. It's so decadent, it's so rich in flavors, but it's not rich, like it's not heavy. There is caramel, there's some chocolate in it. I think it's perfect for celebration. Like if you make it for the New Year celebration, it is amazing. And this tart you can make, like you can prepare for this tart like whipped ganache, caramel, tart, sponge, everything. You can make like a day ahead or 2 days ahead. Next day you just make this, build this tart. That's all. Bring everything together, build this tart. It's ready to serve. Guys, it is amazing and it's so easy to make. So first we're preparing everything for whipped ganache. Boil your cream. Then I melted just a little bit my chocolate, then blend with the hot cream, then blend it together very well, then add cold cream, blend it together very well again, and there you go, it's ready. It goes to fridge and you will use it when you need it, like next day or the day after, doesn't matter. Then we will make in caramel. So in one pot you will need to boil cream and corn syrup, or if you have glucose, if you have it. So boil it together in a different pot, preferably with the thick bottom. You make dry caramel. What this means? It means that you take sugar and you just melt it in your pot until it reaches amber, like dark amber color. As soon as it reaches, pour over the caramel your hot cream and mix together really well. Then add butter, also mix together very well. And then I moved my caramel to this glass because it's easier to blend it together. So I blend it with my blender and caramel is done, ready, and it also goes to fridge and you can use it when you will need it. Now we are going to make tart. So easy. You can use mixer or you can use like me food processor. Put all your ingredients in a food processor and mix together. Then whip an egg little bit in a different dish and then add egg to your dough, mix again together until your dough comes in one bowl. Then take your dough off the food processor. And I rolled it between my silicone sheets. If you don't have it, doesn't matter, you can use parchment paper. Roll it 3 millimeters thick. Now turn the dough over your tart pan. Spread your dough all over the tart form and put it in the freezer for about 15-20 minutes. While our tart is cooling down, we're making sponge. It's amazing. It's like Sacher cake sponge. It's so good. In one bowl, we need to whip our egg whites. So start whipping egg whites without sugar first, and then little by little add sugar and whip it for about 5 to 7 minutes so you have really good meringue. In a different bowl, mix together butter, room temperature, and sugar and whip it together very well. While it's whipping, take your egg yolks and mix it together. Then add your yolks to the butter and sugar, mix it. Then add melted chocolate, mix it together again. Clean your bowl. And add some part of the meringue. And mix it together again. And that's it, you're done with the mixer. Now sift all your dry ingredients in chocolate mixture. And mix in with your spatula ever so gently, picking from the bottom and folding. When it's done, when our dry ingredients are all mixed together, now little by little start adding your meringue. Do it gently so your dough will stay nice, fluffy consistency. And your dough is ready. Now, if you have a silicone sheet like me, you can use this one. If you have like regular baking sheet, cover it with the parchment paper and move your dough to this and spread your dough evenly and put it in a preheated oven. If you can bake your tart and sponge at the same time, because they bake at the same temperature and about same time, like 17-15 minutes each. Before you put your tart in the oven, prick a little bit your tart bottom with the fork. And this is it. I did it all in one day, and it's all was ready for the next day or even the day after. So the next day, I take my tart out of the tart form, and I cut the disc out of the sponge, and leave a little bit of the sponge. So if you notice, I cut my disc. I put my disc not to the center, but a little bit off the center, because we need a little bit of the sponge later. So when you cut out a disc, then take something, some glass or like little ring, and cut the middle of your disc too, and put aside for a while. Now take leftover sponge and cut little cubes out of it. That's done. Put it aside too. Then take your caramel and put a little bit on the bottom of your tart, on the bottom of your chocolate tart. Then take your disc and put on top of the caramel, and pour some caramel in the middle of this hole that we cut out. Now take your ganache out of the fridge and whip it till your peaks are nice and stable. Now move your whipped ganache to the piping bag. Take a little bit of ganache and spread over the sponge. Now cut quite a big hole of the piping bag. And now start piping just all over your tart. Then dip the spoon in cold water, and with that small spoon, make some indentation in your bowl. And pour some caramel in that indentation. Now take some of your sponge cubes and put it anywhere you like. Just make it as minimalistic as you want, like, or whatever you can decorate whatever you want, however you want. You can put sprinkle a little bit cocoa powder on top, or if you do make it for the New Year's, you can sprinkle some holiday sprinkles. It's really up to you. This tart is amazing. It's so decadent, it's so delicious, it's so delicate, it's so the taste of it is so balanced. I highly recommend you to make this tart. And that's it for now. I hope you like this video. Have a happy new year, and I'll see you in the new year.